Hey guys, Ron here, and for the past few years I've been turning basically everything into a Pokemon. And a few months ago, I decided to turn Poketubers into Pokemon. If you haven't seen the previous 2 episodes, please do, because considering the people who watch my channel watch other Poketubers as well, I decided to take a few of them, find out everything about them, and turn them into Pokemonsters that embody their personality, interests, channel, and brand. But by now, I know that a person's online persona is only a fraction of who they really are. In order to create Pokemon based on Poketubers, I had to sit down with them and learn everything about them. I'm not going to just take their superficial aspects like their channel mascot and turn them into a cheap imitation and representation of their channel. Instead, I'm going to find out who they really are and turn the actual person into a Pokemon. And most importantly, since they're now part of the video, I get to see their reaction to the Fakemon they inspired. So if you enjoy, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Check out the previous episode where I turned Shady Penguin and PM7 into Fakemon. And subscribe to let me know who you want to see in part 4. Today we have 2 iconic Poketubers in our presence. One is the face of Pokemon speculation and news on YouTube, while the other is a living legend who's adapted along with his channel and brand. But before we begin, I'm going to make an extra Fakemon that represents today's sponsor, Mondly. Mondly is among the top 5 language learning apps worldwide with over 110 million users. It has access to more than 40 languages, 33 native languages, and more than 1,000 language combinations. So with Mondly, you'll be sure that no matter your mother tongue, you'll be able to learn the language you seek to master. With help from its speech-recognizing chatbot, Mondly provides real-time feedback to help improve your pronunciation immediately. By downloading Mondly, you'll quickly appreciate their daily lessons and weekly and monthly quizzes, so you can recap what you've learned. If you want to learn while performing other activities, such as cooking or working out, their hands-free feature will come in handy. And to celebrate their back-to-school sale, during which you get 96% off lifetime access, I made a Pokemon based on the essence of their app. Check out Vocab Poll, the communication Pokemon, a psychic water type. This highly intelligent Pokemon understands all humans and Pokemon, and can communicate with them by psychically controlling the shape of their ever-flowing innards in order to create various letters and symbols. It's a very friendly and patient Pokemon, and I personally think the idea of combining a speech bubble with a transparent tadpole and the human brain was a simple yet effective way to make what is effectively a Mondly Fakemon mascot. So if you want a life-changing app that'll help you learn as many languages as Vocab Poll knows, then go to mondly.app/TrueGreen7 to get 96% off of lifetime access to 41 languages and begin learning today. It's TrueGreen7 and Vocab Poll approved. What's going on, T-Tar?
What's good, Mr. Green? What up, y'all? It's T-Turn. Okay, you happy to let's go through some more Pokemon Legends in you soul.
This is you're an elusive person to get. You're highly requested but hard to capture.
How elusive am I?
I guess as much as a Tyranitar, I guess. Since I am calling you T-Tar, I guess we should talk about, your mascot and iconography of your channel first. Like, why did you pick Tyranitar?
Do you think I have a good answer to this?
Probably not. You were probably like 12.
Okay, by this point, I kind of hate Tyranitar.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it, and they screwed him up, man. You know what I mean, right?
We're talking about Meta, or we talk about Mega? Maybe you don't like the Mega? I don't know. Why?
The dude in the future.
Oh, Iron Thorns?
Be honest.
I love Iron Thorns. I don't know. You don't like Iron Thorns?
I told you to be honest.
I'm 100% honest. Other than Miraidon, I think it's my favorite of the future forms. I mean, I like green. So, like,
you still like green?
That's the reason I chose it. I chose my favorite thing. I'm actually obsessed with green. I was smart.
That's why I hate T-Tar. I hate green at this point. I've seen so much green.
How's it going, Luke?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Okay, so listen, I had a bunch of YouTube channels. I don't remember. I think maybe around 2006, 2007, I was like hanging out on YouTube.
How old were you in 2006 and 7? You were like 9.
Yeah, I was in grade school, yeah. I don't remember what my first channel was, but then my second channel was kind of... It's a name I can't say. So I didn't like the username, so I deleted the channel, but I downloaded all my videos, and I made Scissor TV. But then I started uploading Pokemon episodes.
And this is what, like black and white?
No,
like platinum?
Like with Ash.
Oh, the actual episodes.
So they deleted my channel. I remember I tried to like log in for like 2 months after, because YouTube would word it as you're suspended, not that get out or anything. So I'm like, I know what a suspension is. I'll be back soon. I gave up after a while, and so what I wanted to do was something like Mew TV.
It's not bad.
Someone took it, so I just kept trying names, and then no one took Tyranitar too, so I'm like, all right, blessed.
But you were okay with Tyranitar at the time, I assume.
Yeah, it's a cool Pokemon, yeah.
Wait, what is your favorite color then, if you hate green now?
Holy, maybe like orange?
Why did I know that? That made sense.
You knew that?
Because for me, orange is my least favorite color.
I see where this is going.
We are very different people. So the first few years is you just uploading whatever you like, I assume. And then at what point does it become a career, I guess?
Bro, I don't even know if it is a career. I'm just uploading for fun. I never thought it was a career. I'm just like bored. So I spend some time making videos and then I go hang out outside.
So I assume once you graduated high school, what did you do? Did you go to college or you just did this and hang out?
Yeah, I went to university, yeah.
What did you study? It was something that you actually wanted to pursue?
No. I mean, no one wants to pursue stuff. I mean, not everyone learns the same way.
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of stupid that we know like 1,000 Pokemon names, but it's like only like what, like 80 elements or something.
We could have become doctors.
Yeah.
You just have to be interested and you have to visualize it. So like I could do that with all the elements if I actually liked the elements. I mean, I like gold.
Exactly. Yeah, I love gold too.
Cool.
Yeah, so I like learning, but then I don't like the way it's kind of done in schools.
What is your channel's like iconography?
Ron, I don't know what iconography means.
So any image that is associated with your channel, basically. For example, you're looking at the sunset in your banner. Do you like sunsets? Do you like mountains? Do you like cities? Or is that just...
Yeah, of course, I love it. Like, that's why I go exploring. There's so many like cool things to see. Like,
cool.
I live kind of high up, so I like always watch the sunrise. I can also see the moon rise. This is so boring.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
When the moon rises, it's always like red. It's always like so beautiful. And I like anything really nature, so I'll go to like waterfalls, mountains, and all that.
Okay, in tune with nature. That's good to know. Get as specific as you wanna. Where do you live?
As specific as I want?
Yeah, you can say the block if you want, but like, or you can say the region of the continent that you want. I don't know.
I'll tell you my address. Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Do you travel? Like, do you want to go other places? And have you been other places, or?
Yeah, I desperately want to travel, but I've kind of only stayed within Canada.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I want to be an archaeologist.
Perfect.
I think it goes back to nature. Like, it's always so cool that there are all these things way before us.
And technically, if you think about it, you're almost like a Pokemon theory leak archaeologist.
Hey, don't say it like that.
I'm gonna. Since Pokemon news, speculation, and even Let's Plays have been the thing that stayed on your channel, that means that's the thing that you're having the most fun doing. What is your favorite aspect of the channel right now? Is it the speculation or coming up with things? What is it?
Yeah, it's the speculation. It's sharing ideas. Because, you know, there's always like these fun meanings behind things. I mean, even if I'm not making videos, I'm still doing the same thing to my friends. I'm talking to them about cool Pokemon ideas and things they should do.
Is this a thing that goes outside of Pokemon? Like, are you a conspiracy theorist? Or do you just like learning about history? Or what do you... How does this affect the non-Pokemon aspect of you?
You trying to expose me? Okay, well, anything I consume. Like, so I haven't watched anime in a long time, but I used to really like One Piece. Right.
That was a weird tangent that I'm gonna have to only use 30 seconds of.
Probably, yeah.
But it was fun. Why did we talk about that?
Oh, because like I like how stories are told.
Oh.
Like, you know, the symbolism, all that weird stuff.
Yeah, you would love One Piece. And like, I mean, yeah, Pokemon's also a long thing with a lot of like small like symbolisms that are only like utilized in like generations later. Like Game Freak likes to bring back something that like they didn't use or like that they set up a long time ago and they didn't even consciously set it up, but like they're like, oh, okay, might as well use that.
Nah, they didn't set it up. They're good at making use of it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think One Piece does. I don't think he actually set up half of the things that you think he set up. That's what I think. Because it's long. Obviously, he has a lot of material to like call back to if he wants to.
If he wants to, yeah.
But that's like Pokemon, honestly, and I love Pokemon, and I like One Piece.
Are you happy with Pokemon's storytelling? The games?
No, it's not above average storytelling. At best, slightly above average. Like in like Gen 9, I'd say Scarlet and Violet has a good Pokemon story.
They're pretty simple, yeah.
But I don't hate it as much as people hate some of the stories. Like if it's a bad story, I'm like, okay, it just wasn't a good story. Like I don't get angry at it, you know?
Yeah, I think Scarlet and Violet and Legends were like the best stories in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. I like the stories of Gens 5, 7, and 9. And I'm a appreciator of the Team Aqua and Magma. I think like in ORAS elevated much more than the originals. Like obviously their plan doesn't make sense, but it makes sense with their character. What is your favorite Pokemon story?
Well, I'm a Gen Wonder, man. I'm so biased. I have to try to turn it off, but Gen 5 was really unique. I actually like Gen 6 a lot, but it kind of just got cut off out of nowhere. December of last year, I was like, while I was uploading every day, I was still kind of bored while I was at home. So I started playing like random horror games and all. So I actually have a second channel where I'm just playing pretty much any other game. And so I'm also getting a lot of input of how other game studios do stories a lot better. So when I think back to Pokemon, it kind of makes me more and more mad that their stories are so simple. But I'm still keeping that going. So I guess that's the continuation to the channel history.
Around what time do you think your channel became quote unquote controversial?
Okay. I mean, I started putting those arrows in the thumbnails.
Oh, you did that? We all did it, but I guess you started it.
While I got a lot of views, instantly people just started hating it. Not people watch me, but because, you know, if you see whatever's recommended on the front, you're like, what is this? Somehow that turned me into a controversial channel. I mean, I don't know.
In 2016, that was peak of thumbnail clickbait for like Pokemon speculation and news, because we were in a drought. Like for 1 year, nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
Until 2016, and then we have Pokemon Go, and then you have, and before that, even the announcement of Sun and Moon. Pokemon was like talked about even beyond the Pokemon fandom, so there were more eyes on Pokemon. And like, yeah, I also made like videos that were clearly just speculation, but people would perceive as fake, as real. You know, if you did it a little more blatantly, I guess you just, you got most of the hate, even though we kind of did the same thing, you know?
But I guess somehow it translated into some kind of weird misunderstanding, and people think there's something to me, but there's actually nothing.
Because I guess your channel is that is what your channel is known for, is like news and speculation. So like I could do news and speculation, that isn't what my channel is about, you know? Yeah, I haven't done news since Generation 8, so I mean like early Generation 8.
You gave up.
It's like, it's just not my thing. I don't love the constantly having to like report the news and like follow the news, and like I like taking my time and making them months in advance instead of having to, if something is released or, you know, leaked, I don't want to now instantly make that video that day. And
You don't like refreshing Cerebi?
I did. I like it as a casual fan. Like when I was a casual fan and not a Poketuber, I would do that. Yeah. That was fun times. As a career, that sounds annoying. That sounds not fun for me.
Yeah. No, trust. I'll wake up in the morning, refresh Cerebi, and I'll be so happy because there's nothing.
Exactly. Like even nowadays, like I still have to kind of react to like any reveal. Like if there's a trailer or something, I'll make a reaction video. I'm relieved if they don't announce anything, because I'm like, okay, I don't have to upload this reaction. Like I can go back to bed. All right, what kind of Pokemon do you like? What's your favorite Pokemon? What other kinds of Pokemon do you tend to like?
I have no opinions. When I was a kid, I liked the most popular Pokemon. I'll replay Gen 4 like 18 times and make the same team every time. And it's not entirely my fault, I feel like, because Pokemon made the other Pokemon suck. Like I can't catch a Vespiquen and it be good. So I kind of have to. So naturally, it kind of just fizzles out into the attractive Pokemon.
I guess, yeah, definitely for Generation 4, that's the classic team, you know? I guess for like Generation 8 and 9, maybe even 7, they made it easier to just catch like a bunch of different Pokemon.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense for the older generations. So does that mean your least favorite Pokemon are the ones that are unpopular, or are there unpopular Pokemon that you like?
Okay, well, it's kind of changing nowadays, because now that I'm making videos, like properly exploring Pokemon, I can see more of why even like the ugly designs are cool.
I feel like that it's impossible to make a Pokemon you would hate, because I can just insert as much lore as possible into this Pokemon.
Yeah, give them tattoos.
Yeah, like a lot of different symbols. Ooh, what if I just don't tell you and you have to speculate what that Pokemon is all about? Cool. Now we can talk about you. Where's your family from?
Can you guess?
I assume from southern India.
Pretty good. Hey, why don't you tell everyone what you learned about my name?
Well,
you already knew it actually.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can easily Google that kind of stuff.
But no one Googles it. People always like, when I used to check Instagram, people always be like, hey, what are you? Why is your name Tamo or Tomo? And no one actually figured out that that's a language.
So yeah, Tamil is literally also the language. You're named after, I assume, the language. Tamil it's a language, but also a people. Like, what, are your parents immigrants, or they were born here? Like, not here, but in Canada, because I don't live there.
They're immigrants, yeah.
Same, like my parents are immigrant too.
Tamil is spoken in southern India and Sri Lanka.
True. Oh, so they could have been Sri Lankan, but...
Yeah, so 50-50, which one do you think?
I'm gonna say southern India.
Sri Lanka.
No! But that's good, I love Sri Lankan food.
Really?
Yeah, my literal favorite restaurant where I live in my borough of New York City is Sri Lanka. That's a very specific place that now I can take some maybe origins, something from, if I need to. Because like, if I'm gonna make an almost mythical, archaeology-based, you know, heavily lore-based Pokemon, might as well take inspiration from something that's related to you, you know?
Yeah, if you want, yeah, you can take stuff from Hindu.
So you are Hindu.
Yeah, what do you know about Hindu gods? Do you know any of them?
I know them. I know some of them, but I'm not gonna start naming them.
To say it?
I'm not gonna start naming them, no.
So describe one, I'm saying. Describe one.
Other than like, I guess the number one that comes to mind is like Vishnu, for example, but like...
Yeah, that's pretty good. I thought you'd say the elephant guy.
A Ganesha? A Ganesh? I'm not gonna...
Bro, you know it well.
I like learning.
I'm surprised. If you want to know my favorite god, it's a goddess.
Okay, that actually would be helpful.
So I don't know if you can... Are you gonna make me a girl?
They may have like long hair or something.
Yeah, true. Okay, her name's Lakshmi.
I've heard of Lakshmi.
She's the rich one.
Okay,
You pretty much pray for her for like wealth and all.
How do you think your friends would describe you?
Oh, that I just laugh all the time. I keep trolling people.
But like, how would you describe your personality? Is that how you would describe it?
I don't even know. To me, I feel like I'm a quiet person. Well, how would you describe yourself? I don't know what to say.
I've been to therapy, so I know how to think about
All right.
myself.
Name your red flags.
Red flags, I'm very socially anxious.
Okay.
I don't try new experiences that easily.
Wow, I'm kind of the opposite, yeah. I kind of let myself open to being like kidnapped by my friends to go to places.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I'm not like the kind... I need to know what I'm doing and where I'm going. Any superpowers you would like to have?
Do I get like a drawback?
Nope, you don't have to. I will add one. I can add one.
Oh yeah, all right, okay, so I want to be able to fly. I want to be invisible.
No, one power.
How about I can see the future? What's the harsh reality?
You can only see like the bad things that are gonna happen.
Oh, I'm down!
What are you really good at?
Skills? I can clean my house well.
You're a good cleaner.
You know, I have one. I can stay awake for a long time. Or I can function off like no sleep.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, favorite number? You didn't have a favorite color. Now you probably don't have a favorite number.
I have a favorite number.
All right, cool.
It's 3.
All right, that's easy to use and implement. All right, but then what's your favorite animal?
They're all so cool. Maybe a snake? And then maybe like a tiger. Wait, can I do mythical creatures?
Yeah, do that too. That would be very...
No. F the tiger and the snake. I'm gonna be a phoenix.
Okay, well, I'll think about it.
You know, do you really like Iron Thorns?
It's a popular Pokemon.
Alright, you can end the interview. No, but...
So at this point, I usually show you guys a time-lapse of the Fakemon I made while giving you the thought process of the design phase. But honestly, the Poketubers will address all the design elements that I incorporated once they react to the Fakemon. So let's just go straight into it. Here is Obserpant, the value Pokemon. A Dragon Steel type with the abilities Multiscale and Good as Gold. This ancient Pokemon is on a century-long search for the lost relics it once owned millennia ago. It has the ability to sense valuable objects and people. Obserpant loves exploring and finding ancient ruins. It has no need for the various treasures it finds and shares it with people and Pokemon along its journey. It is very friendly and carefree. Its golden scales protect it from harm. Now let's see TyranitarTube's reaction.
Obserpant. Oh, my dude made me a freaking snake? What you trying to say? I see my freaking hair? Holy frick, Dragon Steel. My dude looks like the jolliest freaking serpent. Hitting a bit of Good as Gold. Hey, bro, you complimenting me. Okay, man got HP, attack, defense. It do kind of look like a Paradox T-Tar. If you just really squint your eyes. You know, the patterns all around here, the shade here, even the expression, it looks like some slim T-Tar back in the day. This ancient Pokemon is on a century-long search for the lost relics it once owned millennia ago. That's why it's good as gold. There's something with making it a serpent, right? Serpents are like, kind of like a cockroach, always lingering. Kind of makes sense they're here from the olden eras. It has no need for the various treasures it finds and shit. What you trying to do here? And shares it with the people in Pokemon along its journeys. It's very friendly and carefree. Its golden skill is protected from harm. Why you trying to make me tear up, bro? You made me too kind. Maybe the Reggies are 570? Hey, I'm a legendary, bro. I'm a freaking legendary. Let's go. Their name comes from observant and serpent. Like you, they love exploring and traveling. They're always coming across ruins and deciphering ancient relics. That's kind of freaky. They share their treasure as you share the theories you form. I see. Its hair is based on yours. And its color is golden orange. How did I just clock on now? That's why you made it orange. I incorporated your favorite number into its stats. 3. You made them all 3, except the attack. You said your favorite animal was a snake, and then a tiger. So I made a striped serpent with powerful feline legs. You know, it'd be crazy if this man, I guess he can't go on all 4s? You even said your favorite mythical creature was the phoenix, so its fiery hair and color scheme makes sense. This Pokemon is pretty much based on Lakshmi with its habit to I didn't even realize that! I'm giving up the riches! Frick! Lakshmi is usually depicted with the lotus flower, yeah. So observance scales are arranged upward to look like blooming lotus flowers. Maybe you tried making them more pink before and it didn't work? And maybe even that's why I made the shiny like that. And Lakshmi's crown, as well as her golden ornaments. Lakshmi is often depicted with coins flowing from her hands, which the spots on observance inner arm represent. I was wondering, yo, that's pretty sick. In some texts, Lakshmi is described with many arms that are holding various objects. Yeah, she do be having those. Which are the relics observant is looking for. My boy used to have all of them. Thank you for making me so kind. That's all I can say. But I see why you didn't, because you're saying I'm spreading the wealth. Spreading the ideas like Lakshmi. Hey, this is sick, man.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Dalmatian. How's it going, Luke?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Oh, you
Son of a! I was gonna pick it!
And then on the right, we had Calyrex again, but this time he's on hot.
No way! I can't believe that.
I'm very comfortable with you. I love talking to you.
Yeah, I honestly, it's been a while since I last seen you, and I like literally before the call started, just for the record, I asked him when he was coming back. Because I missed you. You'd come back.
Yeah.
You'd come back.
It was a very good time. One of the few Poketubers I've slept within the vicinity of.
Okay, well, I was like, where's that going for a second? But yes, that's true, yeah.
But yeah, it was a very good time. Would love to hang out with him again. Why am I speaking to...
Yeah, in third person. I'm right here, man. Listen, this is a text to one of your friends. Just tell me your feelings.
The first question is usually like, why'd you pick the name for your channel? But...
I have a funny story for that,
okay, cool.
to be fair. And I knew that I love making content. I've been making content, producing content since like 2004. I made a name up in school. It was Xavient, like Xavient, and it ended up being like my gamer tag for like the Call of Duty stuff that I ended up doing. And when I made this channel, and I was like, I'll give it one more go because I do love making content, but I never really had a channel sort of like be air quotes successful, right? The first console I ever owned myself was a Game Boy. And my name's Luke, so I stuck that in, and it passed.
But as soon as you made the name GameboyLuke, was Rotom the mascot, or...?
No, dude, not even. Man, like, Rotom wasn't even on my radar. I think it was Sacred specifically, where it was just mentioned in passing, where he said, yo, it would be cool if Rotom went inside a Game Boy. And I was like, wait a second. Bumped into somebody called Bonus Level, which I believe is their tag on Twitter is still bonus__level. Hit them up, and they then created what you know as the Rotom Game Boy, and it just sort of like became a thing from there, really. This guy.
Like literally that?
Literally.
Wow.
I actually have, 10th of May, 2014 is a timestamp associated with that. And I mean, obviously we changed it to blue because like my branding ended up being blue and orange, but it's basically not changed since then, really. It's just the funky little guy. YouTubers often struggle with just finding their brand and what they want their logo to be, their coloring and all that kind of stuff. Like everything I've walked into has just been like a happy accident. I'm very, very fortunate for that.
And like people definitely by now associate your name and your branding with like the golden age of like Poketubers and like how Poketubers are perceived with like some kind of Pokemon as the mascot, with their name.
Yeah, and that was it, wasn't it? Back then it was always just like, I didn't make my channel with, I wasn't called Sexy Sandslash or anything like that, it was just, because it was like that. I mean, like we got Callum as a big example, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When he was Hoodlum Scrafty, that was the name. It was like adjective or describing word followed by Pokemon name.
Even if you've never seen Luke's channel, I would say go to it to look at the branding. What was some of the best in all of YouTube, even like.
I got so lucky. I mean, I have to give a lot of the props to Skiz, Declan Luke, very, very talented artist. When I hit him up with the task, he's always been down.
Definitely the pioneer when it comes to Poketubing branding and like graphics.
So back then, like layouts were big, like series packs, stuff like that for like the Let's Plays. We needed somebody like that was, driven. If we want to go like way back, I was bullied a lot in school. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't really get about. I was too scared to leave my house because if I bumped into like bullies. And like in town, I was raised in like a really small town. I was drawing and I was scanning in the drawings through my dad's scanner and then posting my artwork on this like Sheezy Art DeviantArt website and like seeing people comment and be like, oh, you could do this better, or this is really cool, or whatever, and making my first online friends, and then getting into flash animating. I used to post actually, they're still on YouTube. I refuse to share the name of the channel. They are online and some of them have like 300,000 views now. Just these like sprite animation, like fight battles. If everyone remembers those, they were really popular back in the day. So it's weird. It's like from the age of like 13, 14, I had set myself on a crash course with YouTube and like having these skills that not a lot of people would usually have when starting out. I think I was one of the first creators that came into the space that had much knowledge of After Effects. And I think at the very beginning, it set me apart from a lot of people because I was able to animate my own stuff. So I used to have like a channel intro. And then when I got a little bit more comfortable, I would start making animated intros for series and stuff like that. And that was happening back in 2013, 2014. I remember people were coming to me like, oh, can you make me this intro? Can you do this? Can you do that?
It's the reason why you stayed so long and also why this current era of GameboyLuke is probably the most successful even. So like,
thanks, man.
It seems like you're also the one that's like giving these tools to other people too. And like, you're the one who's allowing all your friends to also like rise with you.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I think something really important to note about the old Pokemon group and how things were is it was just sort of like, it was very cliquey, but it was bad back then to the point where it was like, you weren't willing to help anybody out except for yourself and maybe a couple other people. In the early parts of YouTube, there was a friend group that we had, and some of the people of that friend group I'm still friends with today. But a lot of them, so there was a handful of bad. You know, whenever there's a batch of apples, there's always a couple bad ones. And after we sort of like left that group, and it was sort of like quiet for a couple years. I know that like obviously I have Pat, I have Nexus, and I had a couple other friends outside of that. But I was this close and quitting YouTube. I owed my dad some money. He bailed me out of a situation, and I owed him money. And I said to Dylan, I was like, yeah, I think honestly, like, and this was like the very early part of our friendship. I was like, I think I might have to put this YouTube stuff on the back burner and go get a job with because I studied computer science. I was like, I might have to go get a job. And he was like, listen, man, before you do that, give it a month. Try YouTube streaming. Try YouTube streaming for a month. And I was like, all right, I don't think it will make a difference, but I was wrong. I flipped everything around. I paid my dad back in like 2-3 months later on. Like things started doing really well for us. Like we were then doing like Let's Plays and stuff like that together. But I don't know if you're around for this, but do you ever remember everyone used to call one another a leech if they were doing collab projects with people that were bigger subscribers, or bigger channels than them and stuff? But when it was with like Dylan and that lot, they were just like open arms, like let's do something together. They just hit me up. They were just like, you want to do a project? I was just like, I mean, I don't really know you that well though. Like, would you feel comfortable doing something like that? I felt a little bit weird, but like we did it, and it was amazing, and it was to start something sick. And it definitely gave me more confidence because I hadn't felt like I'd really sort of like spread my wings in sort of the sense of like I'd held myself off from asking people to do projects with one another. But when I sort of like bumped into the friend group with Dylan and stuff, Dylan told me one thing very, very early on in the friendship was just like, rising tides raises all ships. And when he said something like that, I was just like, yeah, no, that's it. That's exactly how I want to go about things. So like, you know, I've been trying my best to make sure like if there's anything cool that happens, I try to get it in the hands of as many of my friends as possible so we can all post whatever we want to do. There's no like fear of like copying one another or anything like that. It's like, if you can get your bag by posting that content, do it. Let's do it, man. Like,
were you the first one to mod textures for these specific series, or?
Yeah, it was me. It was a video. It was a recording session between me and Shady. So if it was, well, again, I don't know what anyone else is doing, right?
True.
All I know is that I thought that me and him were the first
among your friend group, because again, like it snowballed
Yeah.
after that. Like everybody's now doing different kinds of things that stem from that initial just simple texture mod. Now what about the origin of your iconic intro?
Hyper Potions, Ian is brilliant. Like he is so clever. It started out as just like I was a fanboy of Hyper Potions, and they were releasing music and stuff like that. And when I messaged them on a whim, I think Shady even was, because I think I was staying with Shady. This is like 2016 now. They gave me like a really like affordable rate, and they were like, we got some work we have in the background. We could maybe do this. Have you got any inspiration for us? And Big Snowman was obviously the name of the song that was dropped, that has the melody in it. At the time, I was reminiscing on like an old N64 game called Snowboard Kids, and there's a song called Big Snowman in Snowboard Kids, and it's a really catchy song, and I was like, this sound really captures me. Like I love it. It took some inspiration from that and ended up making the melody that we like know today. Ooh. Big Snowman was never going to be the intro music. I have some passes of the intro with that had different music on it to begin with, and then when I was trying to find a song, I threw that one on there because obviously I paid for it and they given it to me. And I was like, damn, this just works. And it's so lucky, happy little accident. And from there, like, I think it was Patty Trills. I think I did a series with him, and he kept doing the like, and it just kind of went from there. It was like it got catchy. I honestly have to thank him for that, because I think him making it a meme like that, it made it more like I don't know how to explain it. Like, people just sort of like caught onto it. You know what I mean?
Like, Luke is who I go to when I want to see someone's like reaction. You, Nexus, like, I want to hear your reaction to the music. I want to hear your reaction to any of the characters or something like that. So I do watch your first playthroughs and or trailer reactions.
I mean, I think I didn't want to polarize myself into Pokemon. That didn't work. I know that at the very beginning, I think I ended up choosing GameboyLuke because it was gonna be like Nintendo stuff. But it wasn't until I think I did the next series I did, which was like a versus, because nobody in the Pokemon community had. At least I don't think I was the first one, but I was one of the first, where we had 2 gameplays on screen, and I was doing a race with my friend in my best friend Grant, where we were racing in Emerald all the way to the end, and that was like probably the most fun I'd had with Pokemon. I knew I'd found something special, but then me and Pat like started talking smack to each other on Twitter back in the day, and we were just like, I could beat you, and then we started doing the verses together. So long ago, it feels like, I don't know what it is, 10 years ago. It's like a third of my life, isn't it?
What's your favorite Pokemon?
It's easy for me to say my favorite Pokemon, and it's pretty well known that my favorite Pokemon is Mew, but it wasn't always like that. My favorite Pokemon for the longest time was Lucario.
Mythical looking Pokemon. Even Rotom, even though that's not your favorite Pokemon or anything, it's like you like Pokemon that have some extra spice.
But I think if I had to pick like a handful of like really cool Pokemon that I like, I could give you like Weavile, Scizor, Gallade was always a really cool one. You like
fast and sleek Pokemon.
I haven't listed one electric type, but my favorite type is electric because obviously Rotom's part of that, but I've always loved Pikachu and Raichu. Zapdos. Oh, what a brilliant Pokemon. When Zapdos got Galar design too, I was over the moon.
What about like base stats? Like, again, like if we were gonna give you like a spread.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. The second you said that, I had something in mind, and it's always like, I think my favorite type of Pokemon is probably fast special attacker. When I was a kid, my nan would pick me up from school on Fridays. She had an N64 at her house, and her neighbor had an N64 in Pokemon Stadium. Back in the day, you used to have that big poster with all the Pokemon on it, and I'd run my finger on it, and I'd choose a random Pokemon. I'd go breed it in Gold and Silver, and then trade it to myself, and then pretend I'd It was like the old school randomizer. Like I before randomizers were a thing, I'd start the game out with like a Slowpoke or something really like that and play through the entire game.
You were randomizing even before you were a YouTuber.
I know, right? And that's why I feel like I was made to do this, because people were like, how do you not get bored? And I'm like, I've been doing this. This is just it.
Like, you would be one of those people that would get burnt out because you have been doing stuff like this for a long time.
I could play Pokemon for the rest of my life, Ron. I could definitely do it. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
When I hung out with you for like 2 days, you were playing us the Pokemon Stadium soundtrack multiple times. That was really, like, he does love, he's not lying, he loves that game.
Oh, I really like Necrozma.
You wear black a lot.
I think color scheme wise, if I was gonna choose a Pokemon and I could make it myself, I definitely would go with like a black theme with highlighted like colors.
True, yeah. She's saying I should also put Makima on the Pokemon too.
Yes, definitely put Makima on there. Yes, please, my queen. Space is also like really cool. Like, let's talk about Ultra Space and Usum. Like, that was some of the coolest things to make. Necrozma.
Everything pre-Gen 8. Those were good times in terms of like.
Yeah,
it was easy back then.
That's true.
Almost an hour. We haven't even talked about you really.
Wow, it has been an hour. I could talk myself. Wow. Okay, my bad.
We probably talk about other people more than any other interview.
Yeah. My bad.
But that's very telling. So you've described your friend. How do you think your friends would describe you, I guess?
I feel like I'm always worried about what people think about me. I'd like to think I'm funny. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that people think that I have a lot of energy to bring. Like, I love making people happy. That's what I would like to be told, I guess. So, if you guys are watching this, take notes.
It seems like you're deceptively so socially anxious, like in terms of like you do care what people think about you.
Yeah, how did you? Yeah, I mean, I did say, I suppose. I would describe myself as an extroverted introvert.
Yeah, because you are around a lot of people. Like you have maybe you have like the two extremes. Like, you're alone a lot, but you're also around a lot of people more than the average YouTuber technically, because you have a friend group. Kind of like a Rotom if you think about it. Like, it's alone in a TV, but then once you get it,
he's bouncing. Let me go.
Bouncing around, very energetic.
if I could be and I had more time to, I'd be a stargazer.
Oh, interesting.
I love the night sky, and because I live in this small town with like no light pollution, no city pollution, I step outside and I can just stare. I can just stare up and you can just see the stars so clearly.
Favorite number?
It sounds conceited, but it's 7. It's my birthday. But if it wasn't 7, it'd be 23 for sure.
Why do you think 23?
I refuse to elaborate.
Favorite animal then?
Dog. I just got a puppy. I love dogs so much, and I've been raised with dogs ever since I was like 6, 7, and we've gone through several collies, all with the same naming scheme. We all named them after chocolate. We have Rolo, Twix, Fudge, and we just got a puppy called Whisper. Look at him.
I haven't watched even close to like enough of your channel, but like you are very nostalgic to me. Your channel, just talking about your career, you as a person, even it's like it's comforting.
I want you to know, like I've had a rough couple months, to be honest with you. It's very sweet to have you tell me that. I mean,
No problem.
It reminds me that I've been around for long enough, and I do have like a lot of people that care about like me and my content and stuff like that, and that there's no reason for me to go anywhere, and my time here is not done.
Just like the previous mon, let's just jump right into it. Here is Virtual, the cyberspace Pokemon, an electric psychic type with the abilities Levitate and Magician. This loyal Pokemon enjoys playing and sharing with those it finds on its journey around the world. The wormhole collar on its neck expands and opens a portal that allows Virtual to enter cyberspace and fetch digital objects that materialize in the real world upon its return. In battle, Virtual will enter its wormhole and pop out to surprise its opponent. It will gleefully lick its opponent once the battle is done, as it does not want them to hold any grudge.
Oh, it's a dog! Yo! I love him! The colors as well are like, mwah, mwah, mwah. Amazing, fast, special attacker, and it's got Magician because it steals items. And the category is cyberspace? Yeah, okay. This is really sick. Ah, look at him. I want to ruffle his face. I thought it was going to be a Rotom form. It's Virtual. It's like a rover, like a dog. Ultra Beasts were a really, really cool addition to use some, and I feel like he ties in with those quite well. Way back when I used to only exclusively have nebulas and space backgrounds on my like PC. I'd always go to these wallpaper websites and find those to have as my background, so it's definitely something I love. Rotom represents technology, while Virtual, I think, better suits you since it represents the digital world as a whole, from computer science to motion graphics. That is true. I wish I could see this in motion because I can imagine the wormhole around its neck like spinning and the stars on its body like twinkling and stuff like that, which is sort of like where my mind goes with like the motion graphic side of it. It is energetic and friendly while deceptively self-conscious of what others think of them. I feel like I'm being called out. It visually represents cyberspace with a wormhole collar and stars and stripes that represent both constellations and traced on a circuit board. I didn't even, you know what? That's so smart. I didn't pick that up initially. I see it on his arm and on the back of his tail and like on his ear as well. They do very much sort of like feel and look the same when you think about like space and you think about circuit boards and stuff like that. I know that's a really weird comparison to make saying it out loud. You said you love the power to teleport and the ability to float, so it does both. Bang! We won, everybody. Listen, I got both the special abilities I wanted. You like the number 7, so each stat contains it. Oh, I didn't notice that. You could have, yeah, I guess having 7 in every single one of its stats, would it have been possible? Its wormhole collar looks like the wireframe of a 3D model as well as the rings of a planet with moons surrounding it. Yes, so the small circles around it. I didn't think about the wireframe. I thought it more looked like the Ultra Space wormholes, but it kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone in that regard, actually. And of course, as you love to share your video formats, the Pokemon love sharing the objects it fetches from the digital world. That's so sweet. It jumps in a wormhole, finds something interesting, brings it back, and expects pets. That's me! That's exactly what I do! I came back from Japan, and I got Japanese Pokemon Coliseum. Good point. I always leave my expectations at the door whenever it comes to reacting to, you know, Pokemon content or anything of the like. And I'm so glad I did because this has really, really, really surprised me. I think this is a very, very cool design. I don't know, it's hard for yourself to envision yourself as like a Pokemon or what design you would want to have. So someone taking your traits and then making a Pokemon from it, so cool. So thank you again for considering me for something like this. Absolutely amazing.
let me know which Poketubers you want to see in a potential part 4. But for that to happen, you need to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Check out the previous part, or my videos where I invite 10 other Poketubers and we create a Pokemon together, or any of the other Fakemon creation videos. Open the description for the music I used, the t-shirts I made for you guys, and my Patreon. You can get cool rewards like seeing my videos days early. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!